Started today. All right, so thank you for those of you that have come in with us today. This is Lunch and Life with Lakeisha. Y'all, we are halfway through the month. I mean, halfway through the month and halfway through the year. Halfway through the month and halfway through the year, which gives me a great space to talk about what I want to talk about today. You know, um, I want to talk about with you with Lunch and Life because here we get empowered. We might get some resources. We're going to talk about these different life topics. Y'all know what I want to talk to y'all about today? The middle, the middle. But we don't want to stay in the middle. So, the middle of fatigue and fighting forward requires faith. When you are in the middle of something and you want to get to the other side of it, it requires faith. I want you to take a moment and think about a situation that you've been in that you felt like you would never get out of or that it would never get better. I want you to have that reflective moment. How did you respond when you got on the other side? Because you're still here. Even if you're going through something right now, there is something that you have endured, gone through, and you got on the other side of it and you did not know how, when that you would get through it. That's what I'm talking about. Those moments require a resilience. It requires faith. It requires you to make a decision to make up your mind that you are going to get through. You cannot be a jellyback. You cannot be wishy-washy. You have to come to a resolve that you're going to make it through, that God got you. He's fighting for you. You may not know all the answers. You may not know the how, when, what, and why. You may not know any of those things, but what you must stand on is that you will get through. I want to challenge you today. If you have been hanging out with us over in the prayer circle, we've been reading a book. And with that book, we've also been giving assignments. And so when I really just asked God about what to talk to those of you that will come in the room live or those of you that will see this later, he told me to talk to you about the middle. Sometimes the fatigue, the mental fatigue, the emotional fatigue. Y'all ever went through anything and you like, oh, just I don't want to hear nothing else. You feel overwhelmed. You don't want to check your email. You don't want to read a letter in the mail. You don't really want to talk to a whole bunch of people because you don't want to take on a whole bunch of nothing. Just tired, right? Have the desire to move on, but seem like you might not be able to get enough rest. Maybe you're not sleeping well. Maybe you're not getting the best quality of sleep and you feel like you're just constantly going. I want you to lean in and look me right here. And I want you to be reassured you are going to get through this. Not only will you get through this, you probably gonna laugh about this later and say, "Whoo, child, I remember." These are the defining moments that when we lean into God the right way, when we lean into our faith, when we lean into our ability to stick to it, these are some of the defining moments that build character in us. It builds a resilience in us. It builds the testimony in us. It builds the ability for us to look at someone else and say, you know what? I don't know how, but I am very clear you are going to make it through this thing. Like I'm real sure. I'm very sure. It's that thing. It brings us to a resolve. It helps us to understand that we can not only do it, but we can testify of God's goodness. We can remind someone that it's going to work out, right? It's these moments. Even though these moments don't feel good, they are not, um, they don't stroke our ego. They are not, sometimes they don't even feel helpful if you really want to be honest. You don't understand why God got you waiting. God, if you're gonna come through, won't you just come through now? Anybody other than me ever been there? Like, God, I'm sure you gonna come through, but can you just do this thing now? how will you ever refine your patience? If he says, I'm going to give you everything the day that you ask, how would you ever refine your ability to wait? Y'all, for those of you that have ever taken care of children or you have children, you remember when your baby cried when they was 2 months old, you was running to see what was wrong. When them jokers got 5, you looked at them and said, boy, wait a minute. I'm getting your food. Just wait a minute. Girl, hold on a minute. I'm coming. Wait a minute. Y'all ever remember that? Not because your children are any less important. They are not. Not because they need you any less. They are not. But you understand that a certain level of maturity has come upon them that you could look at your baby and say, hey, wait a minute. Mommy's coming. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Mommy's going to get that for you. Oh, or they trying to get that shoe off and they can't get it off and they getting frustrated. And you say, wait a minute, let me help you. Y'all, do you ever think about how, or when they come to you and say, can I have a cookie? Can I have a smoothie? Can I have a piece of broccoli? Right? You go, give me a moment. Why? Because you got to get the broccoli out of the refrigerator. You want to rinse it off. You want to put it on something that they could sit and enjoy their meal. How they get their meal is important to you. You don't want your children eating off of the floor, even though they'll try it when they're that young. They'll try it. They will try it. They will try to eat off the floor. But you want to present what you're giving them in the best manner. Have you ever thought about the fact that that's how God is about you? He know you need something. He know you waiting on it. He knows that you want it. When you first, came into your belief system, it seemed like maybe God answered you faster because you had not built up your maturity yet. You had not taken that time to wait things out. So these moments of waiting help to build that resilience. So here you go. You like that little kid. That little kid come in, you in the kitchen cooking, you in the kitchen cleaning, and your baby says, mommy, can I have a cheese stick? Can I have a cheese stick? They know the cheese stick is in the refrigerator. They know that what they want is there. It's present. It's there. But you look at them and say, hey, give mommy a minute. Because you got flour on your hand, or you making something to eat and you have to wash your hands. Then you got to go to the refrigerator. Then you got to open up the pack of cheese sticks. Then you going to get a plate or paper towel, or you going to put them in the high chair, or you going to sit them on the couch, or you going to tell them to sit down and eat so that they're not running and eating. You're going to give them some instructions before you give them that meal, especially as a toddler. Now, as a teenager, you might look and say, girl, go in the kitchen and get the string cheese. Just wash your hands. You understand what I'm saying? There are different moments in your life that you get faster responses from your parent, right? If you call your parent in the uproar, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, they're like dropping everything. That's different. They hear the panic in your voice. They hear the emergency in your voice. Well, that's what God says in Jeremiah 33. Cry unto me. Call unto the Lord and I will answer you and show you great and mighty things. When you are in trouble, you got to not choose to rely on yourself. You got to take that panic to God. But as you mature, sometimes he makes us wait a little bit longer. And this real life conversation. Y'all can sit here and act like y'all ain't never said to God, why you making me wait so long? Because I'm like, Lord, I know you gonna come through. But big boss, can we do something about this today? Like in the next 30 seconds, even? Like in the next 30 seconds. Can we do something in the next 30 seconds, right? Sometimes you want to hurry God, but think about it. When you tell that child to wait a minute and you got to rinse off that broccoli or get that string cheese and you got to get it to them, you want to present it to them in a positive manner. You want to present it to them to where they learn manners when they sit down and eat. You want to present it to them that they learn hygiene, that they learn etiquette, and you don't want them to choke because they moving around while eating. So you give them instructions on what to do. So it's not that God can't answer you. He is going to present to you something so great, it matters to him how he gives it to you. So as we're talking today about the middle or fatigue, fighting forward to your faith, I want you to first come to the resolve you're going to get through this. I dare you to type it in the chat. I dare you to say it out of your mouth where you're sitting. I am going to get through this. And all of the things are going to work out for me, y'all. This is what I understand. All of it is going to work for me. I'm going to get through this. All right. You're going to get through the middle. The next thing that I want you to do, and sometimes this isn't as easy as it seems, I want you to acknowledge how you feel about the waiting. I want you to acknowledge how you feel about even having to endure the challenge. I want you to acknowledge that because why? Why? For what reason? For what purpose? Why am I in this space? It's important for us to acknowledge where we are because sometimes we have to check our own patterns. Sometimes we have to just realize God is just building us. But you got to acknowledge how you feel. There's nothing wrong with you telling God you don't like where you are right now. I know nobody don't tell you that. I know they don't tell you that. I know they don't tell you you can have a real conversation with God. I know they don't tell you that. But you can. Too many times, right? It's written. So, and the other thing, so we are coming to the resolve that we're going to get through it. We're acknowledging how we feel. But here's the other one. Be aware of who you are, regardless of your position. You might feel like you are in the bottom of the barrel, but you are not the bottom of the barrel. I'm going to let that sink in. You might feel like you are in your lowest point, but you are still something extra special. You are still that girl. You are still that dude. You are still that anointed one. You are still that faith-filled person. You have to choose to brush off the things that try to make you forget who you are. You understand that when you're going through challenges and you've been in them for a while, that mental exhaustion and fatigue can make you try to forget who you are? Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Forget how much faith you've stood with? Absolutely. And then you got to defy logic. Now, this is really important to me because anytime you're talking about faith, faith is not your logic. It's just not. It is not. It's not your logic. As I begin to wrap up, because we're here with impact, but not here very long. I had an experience and I needed something and I continue to declare over it. Continue. People's looking at me like I was crazy. And I continue to declare. I continue to pray. I continue to cry out. And I'm watching now how my resilient faith fueled the other people around me. This is why you got to remember who you are. This is one of the main reasons why you must remember who you are. One, because God made you that, but two, your positivity or your negativity can affect those around you. And there are moments that I will unequivocally say my frustration got the best of me. Now, I'm sorry. I can't tell you that I've never been frustrated or that I've never even voiced it, because that's not true. But I remember who I am, not that F. I'm not the frustrated one. I'm the faith-filled one. No. And then when I sat in my service at church on Sunday and heard my pastor talk about you're not lost, you're just in transformation. The frustration is because you've outgrown a space and you can't shrink back. That was such a positive word for me Because honestly, in a faith move that I'm in right now, I was like, it's so true how when you are in an uncomfortable space, the middle, you want to revert to what you know and what's common. But what about when God says, no, you can't go back to that? You need, use it for example. You need to lose 20 pounds. You might choose to go back to the same regimen that you did 3 years ago, but that might not work for you. You may choose to go back to a previous skill set that you have in a job, but that may not be where God wants you to go. Working the middle, working the middle, being fatigued and fighting forward requires your faith. It does not require you to just do more work. It requires faith. Faith aligned with your work is going to yield you the godly results. I can't say that anymore. See, this is why you got to get out of your logic, because society teaches you just do more, just do more, just do more. But if you're doing more in the wrong place, it is like you are beating at the air. You must defy your logic. If God can send a dirty bird to feed the prophet, do not worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will take care of itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. If I supply for the birds of the air and the lilies of the field, aren't you more valuable than they? And then here comes the real question. O ye of little faith. He didn't say, O ye of little skill, O ye of little intellect, O ye of little intelligence. He said, O ye of little faith. And so often we say we have faith. We do. But when God challenges our norm, we freeze up and say, well, God knows what I need. You minimize his instruction, even unintentionally. So this is why you got to be honest where you are, honest how you feel. If you are trying to forge in faith and you feel nervous, tell God you feel nervous. Tell him you're scared. Tell him you're unsure. Tell him you don't know. That is really okay. That is so okay. But acting as if it is not happening is not beneficial to you, because you are not being honest with you or God, and God already knows how you feel. Remember, he went to the woman at the well and asked her, was it her husband? He already knew the answer. He was aiming to get her to be accountable to herself, to her own actions. So fighting in the middle and fatigue, trying to get forward, is going to require your faith. It's going to require your accountability. It's going to require you to acknowledge how you feel. It's going to require you to be aware of who you are, regardless of your position. My current status does not determine my worth or my value. But you can believe that when you are going through the middle, the devil tries to say, look at you. Just look at you. Look how you look. Look at what's going on with you. Look how life is looking for you. These people think you crazy, right? Oh, the devil's going to talk. But here's the problem. You have to take authority, because none of that has authority over you. This is why you have to remember who you are. Who are you? You are brilliant. You are bold. You are a gift to others. Listen, you're a blessing to your family. You're blessed in the city, blessed in the field, blessed when you come, blessed when you go. The head and not the tail, above and not beneath, the lender, not the borrower. You have clarity of thought, right? Everywhere that your feet tread, you shall possess the land. You are moving forward in your faith. And every place that frustration has tried to be louder, we take authority over that, and it has to lose any power over you. So, Father, I thank you today for these, your people that have come for this time. I thank you, God, that you would give us the wisdom, the clarity, and the direction for what is now and forward in our lives. Help us to see clearly. Help us to hear audibly and with precision. God, we repent for any frustration that we have let come out of our mouths. We want to stand in faith. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. We cast not away our confidence. Let us stand knowing that you're God and you're in control. This we ask in Jesus' name. Amen. Now, listen, as we get ready to wrap up, I'm going to give you something because we're over in this book club that we've been doing on Thursday nights. And there is something that I want to share with you that I want you to define when I talked about your reason for being, I mean, you knowing who you are. In the first prayer circle that we did months and months ago, we talked about a concept called Ikigai. Ikigai. And I want to share that with you this morning because I want you to refine. I told you you're gonna come on here, you're gonna get some information. You might get a special guest, but I want to share Ikigai with you. All right. This is a Japanese concept of reason for being. It's my reason for being. Okay. It's why I am here. It's why I do what I do. Hold on, let me straighten this out because I got too many things open and it's showing up. It's why I do what I do. And so often I am a licensed coach, and one of the things that I realize is we like to skip over the very basic things and go, oh, I don't have time for that. I don't have time to think about it. I just want the answer. I just want the answer. And sometimes um, that short route is not the best thing for you. It's just not because you miss again some of the things that we talked about. Your children had to wait a little bit because you knew they were growing. Your children had to wait a little bit because the way you wanted to present something to them was important. Well, you understanding your purpose, the things that fuel you are important because it affects how you work. It affects what you do. So, knowing what you love is extremely important in a middle scenario because you will feel sometimes the tendency just to respond because you know what you need, and that can bring you out of alignment. Let me make it make sense. You know that you're having a financial challenge and you go, okay, well, I'm just going to go do something. But God says, I want you to do this. What he wants you to do may take longer. It may even require finances. That defies your logic. But you could end up wasting time and spinning your wheels by doing what you think is going to answer you, and you become more frustrated if you don't understand what it is that you love and what it is that is your purpose and what God has assigned you to do in this season. Every season, you're not going to do the same thing. I think about a lot of pastoral leaders that were musicians. They loved music, they loved playing. For many of them, for years, it fed their families. But when God calls them to pastoralship, they have to make a decision that they can't try to do that and that. Now, there are sometimes you're going to be able to do this and that, but you got to understand your seasons. Just because you are good at a thing don't mean that that's what you should be doing all the time, right? So what do I love? What's my passion? What does the world need? What are you specifically working towards to provide an answer to someone else? And what are you getting paid to do? Like what are you doing? Is that aligning? What are you good at? You could do it in your sleep. If you never got paid for it, you would still be okay because you know what it is. You know you're supposed to be doing it. I said to someone, they said something to me, and I said, look, if I got paid for all of the things I volunteer for right now, I would be in a different space. But that is requiring me to trust the process. Here's another one that just it's talking about the same thing. I'm just showing you some of the graphics, right? It's the same thing, but if I if I got paid for all of the things that I volunteer for or teams that I help out on, things would look different for me. But what I have to understand is I am still refining things. Those are moments that God would, can I trust you to serve well, even if you're not getting paid for it? Because when you getting paid for it, will you serve well? Money is not my God. I need it. It answers all things. But God will send the bird. He will send the answer. He will lace you on somewhat hard. He will cause someone to give. And the way you show up makes a difference. We don't always understand that as a baby, but the way you show up makes a difference. It's going to attract certain things. How you present makes a difference. So, again, what do you love? What are you good at? What do you get paid for? Because sometimes you can be getting paid for something, but you still feel empty. We're talking about fulfilling purpose, walking in the place that God has assigned. If it's not paying you $1, but God says, I want you to open up and do this, do it. He is looking at the bigger picture, because I promise you, if you are obedient, you may not know where the answer is coming from, but what you need will be supplied. This is why you must defy your logic. If God says to you, do this thing, but you're like, God, I need money today. He knows that. But he's the same God that can extend what you need. He is the same God that lets somebody come and pay for what you need. Do not move from obedience because you are trying to create your own answers. Align yourself and understand your reason for being. Is your vocation bringing you complacency and a sense of uncertainty? Why are you doing what you are doing? Why are you here? That must be defined, or you're going to find yourself walking in circles. You must stop and do this. You must stop. Don't be the one saying, oh, I heard this already. Okay, you're hearing it again because what did you do with it? What did you do? You are allowing people to share resources with you, but you're not implementing certain things. What are you doing with the information that's coming to you? Ikigai. That's the first layer. The second layer, if you've been around me long enough, you've heard me say this and you're going to hear me say it again because it's one of the strategies God has given me. Take 52 days and finish a goal, complete a goal. Now, last week, we set a 52-day calendar clock last week in the book club. So we got a deadline for August the 2nd. If you got one clock running and you need a new clock for a new goal, create a new clock. There are no rules to that. The only thing is 52 days. So what is 52 days from now? For those of you that are trying, before you get to the 52-day goal, completing unfinished tasks. You might need to straighten up something on your desk. Just complete it. Don't make it wait till tomorrow. You might want to clean out one drawer. Just complete it. Don't make it wait until tomorrow. Don't make it wait until tomorrow. Do it. I have some marketing stuff that I need to finish. I already have my reminder set today for time to complete those things. They're on a list. Let me explain. You got to be intentional about what you're doing because there's too many distractions in this earth. Back when we were younger, you had TV to worry about. You didn't have social media, TikTok, Instagram, Telegram, Group Me, all of the things where people now have access. Your reminders are going off. You get an alert. It's so easy for you to become distracted. The worst thing we had to worry about was a phone and some dial-up internet. Nobody couldn't just text us and disrupt us. They couldn't just call. If I was on the phone and didn't have three-way calling, they had to wait, Faith, because my line was going to ring busy. Beep, beep. I might be dating myself. I might be dating myself because if you didn't have three-way calling, somebody was calling you, they was just going to get a busy signal. They could not interrupt that phone call. Some of y'all need to act like you don't have three-way calling. Don't click over while you are working on your goals. Do not click over. But y'all know me. I had to have three-way calling. I had to have caller ID. I had to have the clear phone where you could see the inside. Listen, I needed to have it all. I still remember my old number. Why? I do not know. But I still remember that old number. and we had it so many years ago. But now things have changed. So you got to change up your methods, okay? You got to be intentional with success. So for those of you that's going to take the challenge, how many of you going to take the challenge to complete something of a goal? Like this is a little bit of a bigger goal than just your unfinished task. Within 52 days, you're going to do something and complete it. You're going to put it on your calendar. You're going to set reminders. Let me see your hand. Wave your hand. Hit the chat. Let me know if you're going to sign up for it. 52 days is August the 8th. Something that you need to do that is a goal of yours that you know is going to move you forward in the area that God has assigned for you to do. Some of you got to go back to school. Some of you have to start a business. Write the plan, write your ideas. It doesn't have to be formulated perfectly. So somebody said they're signing up. All right, August the 8th. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to open up your phone. I want you to go to your calendar. I want you to go to your Google Calendar. I want you to go whatever calendar you use. And you're going to set a reminder for August the 8th. And then you're going to set a reminder for a week prior to that. But you are not going to wait till August to get started. All right. I see somebody else saying they're signing up. They're signing up August the 8th. That's your new date for completion of a goal. This may look like I want to lose 10 pounds in 52 days, right? This may look like I want to create a business plan in the next 52 days. This might look like I want to finish an online course. This might look like I want to partner with at least 7 people to grow my business, right? Whatever this is a little bit of a bigger challenge. And some of you, again, if you're in my space, you have heard me say that. God started moving with me in this, I can't remember if it was 2019 or 2021, that God started having me move in these cycles. And it's proved successful for me. When I have a little bit of a bigger goal beyond a short-term goal, like that may be a weekly goal, I use a 52-day calendar to complete it. I got my investment license on this 52-day calendar. I set it. I held myself accountable. I created a study schedule and I got it done. Right? I had to take 3 different exams. This same system proved to be helpful for me. This same system. I'm not telling you something that I have not done. Right? You may decide you want to know, it's just whatever it is for you. You might want to create a new book. The reason for setting up the week earlier is a reminder that you're coming to your deadline. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to your calendar. I know how Apple works. I don't know how Samsung works. I'm sorry if you have a Samsung. You go to your calendar, you open up the date. Oh, I see somebody looking. Oh, just don't. We're not going to have this war publicly, okay? We're just not. So set your calendar, all right? You're going to put whatever it is. So that means first you have to decide what the goal is, all right? So whatever that goal is that you're going to be working on in the 52 calendar, you're deciding to do it and name it. Then you want to set a reminder at least a week out because that is your reminder to finish by that date. If you finish in advance, good for you. But I want you to let us celebrate with you when you complete it. I want you to say, we did it also as a church. When the Lord gave me the idea, we did it also as a church. Several of us completed a goal within those 52 days. No, I'm not telling you what your goal is. That's on you. That's your real life stuff. But give yourself an intentional time to complete it. 52 days. How 52 days? Nehemiah rebuilt the wall in 52 days. And one day I was studying that, and that's how God started dealing with me with goal setting, with certain things that are smaller tasks. Okay? You can write a book in 52 days, y'all. I just want you to know. Mike Murdoch said he wrote a book every week. And y'all know he got a whole bunch of little books, but people know him all over the world. Here's what I want y'all to understand. Stop trying to mimic other people and do it the way that they did it. God might not tell you to do it that way. He somebody tell you to do it that way. Your book might have 12 pages. Baby, write your 12-page book because somebody don't want to read 30 and 50. Do your digital asset, whatever that is. This is why you have to define who you are and what you are supposed to be doing. You are not supposed to take all that you are doing and wait until you get old to figure it out. No, you. However old you are, however young you are, you. There's something that you're supposed to be doing today. Complete it within 52 days and don't make another excuse. Write the book. Make up in your mind that you want to do it, and God will send the resources again. Defy your logic. All right? Here we go, y'all. We going somewhere. We're growing somewhere. This is real life stuff because so often we get stuck and we feel like we're the only ones that got stuck. You ain't the only one that got stuck. You're not the only one that got discouraged. You're not the only one. That's why we're here together, talking to each other, okay? I'm encouraging you to move forward in your faith. Get out of the middle. Y'all cannot be in the middle of traffic. Get out the middle lane. Make a decision. Move out the way. Get out of the middle. Move forward in your faith, okay? Move forward in your faith. Get out the middle. Come on, let's declare it. I'm moving out the middle. But I'm going to the place that God has assigned for me to go. Get out the middle, y'all. You cannot be hanging out in traffic because I love you. And I don't want you to get run over. So you got to speed up. You got to go to that slow lane. Like if you moving slow, get over in the slow lane. But if you moving, baby, get on over so we can pass on by you. All right, I love y'all. We already prayed. Thank y'all for joining us today. Remember, invite somebody. Someone needs to be encouraged. And go to onpurposelife.com. If you have not gone and you have not registered, you need to see the things that we are doing. We are in the middle of a book club. It is literally amazing. We are charting things out. We're meeting Thursdays at 8 p.m. until July the 9th. But y'all, we got something so good coming up. It's called the Faith Fueled Professional. And that is going to be where we come in as professional. I do these prayer rooms, and so many people, like some of them, they've been asking me, when are you going to do it again? Let me know. So I did that, and I have you register so that you can be in communication. So run over. We do a weekly finance room. You could come in, ask questions, set up your different accounts. You might need something, someone might need something. We're readily available for you there. So listen, the resource group is just shaping up really nicely. We're still helping out coaching professionals and helping businesses and churches with some of the things that they need. So I just want y'all to partner, jump in, find out what's going on, tell somebody we over here because we're a resource. It's no different than you telling somebody who did your hair, who did your nails, who did your braids, because you like what you get. All right, until next time, next week. I will see y'all. Register now. Sometimes if I see you on, I'll go ahead and register you for next week as a reminder, just so that you'll get the information. If anything changes, you'll know. All right. So I'm thankful for y'all. I'm going to stop this recording and I'm going to open up for any questions or comments. All right. Because we're going to respect your privacy.